I want to make an opening statement first, if you don't mind. First off, very humbled to be here. This is one of the premier programs in all of college football, and I get to coach linebackers at it, and probably one of the best linebacker scheme-friendly schemes with Coach Venables. So, and add in the fact I'm 3 hours from home, it's a dream come true, and it's been very special. And the time here has been awesome so far. Learned a lot, and the best part about this place is the players that Coach V brought in. We don't have any issue kids on the team. It's a bunch of people that are hungry, humble, right, and wanting to get this thing going and where it needs to be. I think we're all excited for that next chapter. So let's go with some questions.
Nate, just how did this come to be? It seemed like it happened kind of fast. I know you were at Arkansas State very shortly. Just take us through.
Yep, I was at Arkansas State long enough to buy a house. So if anybody wants a house in Jonesboro, come look me up after this. Just took the DC job at A-State, and Coach V called probably 3 or 4 days before it became official, saying, asking if I was interested in all that stuff, and I told him didn't really care what the pay was or what the title was. Just let me know, and I'll get the shortest route to Norman I can. It's so, like I said, I don't know if I deserve to be here, but I'm very, very humbled and very grateful that I am here, and it's a privilege, and I don't take it lightly.
What you about Brent before that conversation, and then just how's that synced up and we get to work with him every day?
Yeah, it's been good, and one of the reasons I wanted to take this job, the last 3 jobs I've had, I was a coordinator, so you kind of know your own stuff, and you don't really grow as much, I would say, if it's just you, right? So now I get to learn a new scheme, not to mention arguably one of the best schemes from one of the best coordinators over the last 2 decades. And then not only that, but he's also the head coach, he's the defense coordinator, and he's pretty much the linebackers coach too, right? So I get Coach V in all 3 phases, and watching him and learning from him on what he wants his linebackers to look like. All of that summed up is why I wanted this job. I wanted to grow, and I wanted to learn from the best, and it's hard to beat Coach Venables.
Nate, who on the defense has stuck out to you already, and how have they stuck out to you?
I think with this defense, it's very well-rounded. I think there's so many faces, and the one thing that I'll talk about more so is the depth at each position. Just with my guys on the inside, you have Kip, you have Kobe, you have Sammy, you have Owen, you have Kendall Daniels, Taylor, and Ness. You got 4 or 5 guys that arguably could start, and that's what we're going to need, as you guys know more than I do, even especially as SEC is brutal and it's long. So if you can't roll too deep and have 4 or 5 guys that can play without a drop off, there's going to be an issue. I think Reggie Powers had an unbelievable spring with Coach Goodwin at the cheetah position. Kendall Daniels is a very intriguing player. He plays 3 to 4 positions here already, and to do that in this scheme is very hard because it's a very complex structure. You have to know a lot of moving pieces, and I'm really proud of how he handled his short-term move. I think the D-line and D-ends is just it got a chance to be good as long as they keep improving.
Nate, how much did it help with Kobe and Kip and their
Oh my gosh, we have like 150 calls, so I'm asking them what we're supposed to be doing on stuff. It's nice that they've been in this system so long, and they're so mature. We have a very older, experienced group, so it's been good for me just to listen to them. Obviously, Coach Goodwin's been in this system for 7 years, so hearing it from all different angles and everyone, preaching the same language. I think Coach Venables does a good job of getting everyone mainstreamed and has the same vision and what it's supposed to look like. That way we can move fast when we have to. So those older guys have been a huge piece for me, helping to pick this thing up as well.
What did you think of your entire linebacking core?
The whole core. So I've been at University of Oregon 4 or 5 years ago. So I've been at another big caliber place. The difference is typically if you have 5-star players, you have 5-star problems, right? They don't have that here. They have the players, but they don't have the issues. And the linebacker group is, and you guys see them do drills, you guys see them make tackles. They're even better off the field. They're so fun to be around. They're always smiling, but they know that there's a lot of competition in that room, but they're always helping the next person. Does that make sense? So to me, it shows so much growth as a man when, hey, do I want to start? Heck yeah, but guess what? I got to get my partner better too. That's the one biggest takeaway I had from the spring was how much they wanted that room to grow, and I think it did.
We've heard from people in your past about what kind of player you were. Describe yourself, what kind of player you were. 4-time All-American, but undersized, slow, whatever stands out.
Slow, yeah, I think you hit it. Jesus, God, anything else? I was terrible. No, I try to coach how I played. I was not very fast, right? as you pointed out, obviously you found the tape, but you always try to think ahead of linebacker. Linebacker is not about how fast you run. It's awesome if you could run fast, but it's how fast you process, right? And how do you process fast? By having fast eyes, by knowing what's coming ahead, by film studies, all those little things, right? And that's what I try to instill in our players. We have a very talented group, so now how can I get them to play faster, right? And that's, for me, it's all eyes, it's all mental up top. So we spend a lot of time in the classroom on the little things, the little fundamental technique that eventually add up to the big things that everyone wants. They know the scheme and they've done the scheme forever. And now we're able to master these little things to make us look smooth and better and more athletic as we go. Because at the end of the day, I tell them there's two types of tackles: hard tackles and easy tackles. And you get easy tackles with great alignment, fundamentals, and technique. And that's what I focus off. The scheme's a scheme, and we'll handle that. But if we can master those three things in my classroom, right, then we're gonna have a chance to be really good.
What did you learn about your short time as an interim head coach, and what do you bring from that?
That's what I always told. I was at New Mexico State with Coach Kill, and he always asked me, "Do you ever want to be a head coach?" And I said, "No, only the last day of the month." But learning from him was awesome. Then going to Utah State, I wish we could have won a few more games, but this worked out even better. Now I get it close to home. But you learn that in the head coaching seat. It's unbelievable that Venables is also the coordinator. There's just so many problems you have to do, right? You go from a position coach, you're in charge of 6 people, coordinator, you're in charge of 500 or 50, and then a head coach, you're in charge of 300. So it's just so much more time needed. And I was a little bit too thin on how I addressed everything, but learned a lot from it, and hopefully get another chance down the road.
Have you shown any of the players your tape from kids?
No, but I tell them all the time if they keep missing plays, and that's where they're headed is Pittsburgh State. So, no, they know they don't need to see my film. There's nothing impressive about that.
Nate, have you ever had anyone as unique in terms of body type like a Kendall Daniels before?
No, I think Coach Goodwin will probably compare him maybe to Isaiah Simmons, but no, not that I've seen. He's 6'5", 240, and half the time he's going to the post and doing a halves coverage or playing man or blitzing the big gap. How rangy and how athletic he is at that size is very, very, very freaky. And that's the cool thing about him is you have no idea where he's going to line up on the play, and he has so many tools and so much things that he can bring for this defense. I think he's going to fall in love, and you guys are going to fall in love with him this fall watching him do it.
Nate, your dad's obviously a very accomplished high school coach, and he's just growing up around that and that success. How did that kind of shape what you wanted to be as a coach?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think what that allowed me to do over the years was all my people I've looked up to are high school football coaches, right, in the state of Kansas, because I've been around them my whole life. I woke up on Saturdays when I was little, not watching Nickelodeon, but watching my dad's football games, right? And so you just pick up things here and there, and so many things on what to do or what not to do, but more so I think how to treat your players and how to get them to respond. The best thing that my dad does as a coach is basically brainwashes his guys to think that they're better than they actually are. And by the end of it, they truly believe, and that's what it's all about. How can you get your good players great and your great players elite, right? And that's by this mental makeup that we have to have, and you have to have it every single day to continue to develop the mindset that we need. So that's the biggest takeaway I took from him.
Any other questions?
Appreciate you guys.
Thanks, Nate.